Y'all ready? Are y'all ready for a third style bender reign? Same old underwear, just a different fart? Or are you getting ready for a fourth style bender loss? Dude, my first reaction to this Dricus fight was, nah, dude, Izzy's the greatest middleweight. You know, that loss to Sean, it was a fluke. You know, he wasn't trained. The loss to Jan didn't count. He went up in weight. The Poatan loss didn't count because he got it back in the rematch. Am I delusional? I don't know. Am I delusional? I might be what y'all are calling me, a delusional, cringy, casual Izzy fan. No. This can't be like, so everyone today, they're putting out their predictions, and you got Guru and you got Shay, and they're all saying, you know, I gotta slap myself. Like, am I seeing this straight? Am I seeing this straight? I'm hearing the Dricus, the takedown threat is too high. I'm hearing Dricus is too strong. I'm hearing Dricus, Izzy isn't really a counterpuncher. He's a leg kick and jab. He's going to leg kick and jab. I'm hearing Dricus, he's got that dog in him. If Izzy has any weakness, it's that dog. Why do I have the jitters? Why do I have the jitters for this fight? When it first got announced, I had no jitters. Today, I'm at Chili's with my wife, and I'm staring off in the distance. She says, honey, what's wrong? I say, what if Izzy can't stop the takedown? I'm just staring off. My triple dipper plate is getting cold. I'm thinking, what if he just gets subbed in the first round? I'm almost in shambles. I'm scared of what can happen. Because Dricus, he just seems a little different. He seems a little different from all these other fighters. You know, what is at stake here? Adesanya, the reason why we love Adesanya is because he always puts a lot on the line. He puts a lot at stake. I mean, we got the race war with this fight, but he really tries to fight the hardest person every single time. He fought Yoel Romero when he was in his prime. He fought Paulo Costa when he was in his prime. He fought Robert Whittaker when he was in his prime. He gave him 2 fights. And then he took on Poatan, arguably not when Poatan was in his prime yet, but after Poatan knocked out Sean Strickland like that, who else wanted to fight him? Izzy rose his hand. He said, me, I'll fight him. I know this is our 3rd time fighting, 4th time fighting. I'll put it all on the line. I'd say the only fight that had more on the line than this Dricus fight right here was the Poatan fight, the rematch, when he went in there and he had everything to lose. And so now, you know, he's fighting Dricus Du Plessis, who has all the attributes of those fighters. He's strong. He fights more aggressive than most of these guys. He always comes with a game plan. He's a drunken master, but he's a drunken master who's literally beaten the best in the middleweight division. And goodness, the South Africans, they're swearing up and down like he's the chosen one. I'm in shambles. Everything in my mind is telling me Izzy's going to beat this guy easy. Like, I've seen him beat all these other tough guys in the middleweight division. I feel like he's going to beat Dricus easy. But it's like a dark cloud hanging over my head. A dark cloud of South African commenters and videos of Dricus defeating a whole entire jiu-jitsu school by himself by reaching behind his back to break their guards. Oh, I don't know, guy. I'm scared. I'm honestly scared. So let's get to the real journalism, though. Okay. What does an Izzy loss do to the middleweight division? That's a good question right there. I know, Flying Squirrel. That is a good question right there. Because if Izzy loses, he basically just becomes a permanent contender. He becomes the Max Holloway of the middleweight division. He becomes the gatekeeper to the belt, which opens up a few good fights. You know, we got Izzy. He could get a Imamov fight. I think that would be pretty interesting. Fraud checking Imamov. Also, hot take. Someone needs to fraud check Imamov because that Jared Cannonier fight was a robbery. Is anyone else going to say that was a robbery? Am I the only YouTuber who's going to stand up and take a stand for that boring freaking fight and say it was a... Anyways, I think Cal Barallo, however you say his name, I think that would be a really interesting fight. But then other than that, like Khamzat Chimaev, we've been wanting that fight for a few years. If his tummy ache stops, maybe we'll get a Khamzat Chimaev fight. But I feel like that would be a waste if it wasn't for a belt, you know? And so the middleweight division, I think they'll be fine. You know, you got the Sean Strickland, Robert Whittaker, Dricus Du Plessis, Khamzat Chimaev. You have those 4 guys, and I feel like if you mix them around, you got some really good fights. I guess you're just going to have Israel Adesanya hanging out at number 5, making YouTube videos, skydiving, going snorkeling, fighting number 8, number 9 up-and-comer guys. It honestly doesn't sound like a bad life. So, what does this do to his legacy? I'm glad you asked, Flying Squirrel. Now, I think if Izzy loses this fight to Dricus Du Plessis, it takes him off the Mount Rushmore, puts him in the honorable mentions of all time. Now, don't freak out. It's not like I had him in the Mount Rushmore to begin with, but he was so close, guys. Y'all remember how close he was? Remember, this guy was 20-0, and then he went up and fought Jan. He lost, and it was okay. We were like, okay, it's okay. Came down, he fought Pereira and lost, and we're like, okay, this might be the beginning of the end, but then he beat him again, and we're like, holy crap. And I think if he had beaten Sean Strickland, or if he had just waited and taken a full training camp, instead of rushing in, trying to stay active, we might be having a way different conversation. He might be top 10. He's definitely top 10 all time to me, but it might be a different conversation of where he stands all time. I think it would always be Silva and then Izzy in terms of middleweights of all time. It'll still be a Hall of Fame career, but if he loses, he's just going to have this blemish on the end of his career of 4 fights that he lost. To be fair, it happens to every fighter. Every great fighter, they have their skid, they have their retirement, they have, they're going out. Some are longer than others, some are Tony Ferguson, but then there's some who look like Khabib, where you just skedoodle out there early, which is what I'm going to do because I have work in the morning. So let me know what you guys think. What happens if Izzy loses this fight Saturday? What does it do to his legacy? What does it do to the middleweight division? Is he still a Hall of Famer? Is he still a top 2 middleweight of all time? Or does he get kicked to regular-degular status? Let me know. All right, peace.